Hi, today I'm going to show you how to mount a set of 6.5-inch speakers in your Harley Davidson. These are speakers we sell at 12voltelectronics.com. We have a few different models. Today we're going to be putting in the Imagine i61-2. It's a 6.5-inch by Hybrid Audio Technologies. This also applies for some of the other ones we sell on there, like the Sounds, Customs sets, and others. So here we go. Okay. This is the factory speaker enclosure that goes behind your fairing. This is actually the left side. Mounts just like that. I already pulled the speaker out. Here's your wiring. Okay, with the kit, we supply these stickers. This tells you where we're going to make a cut. This hole here lines up with this opening. This foam is pictured right there. We're going to have to remove that. And basically, you want to line this edge, and this edge up along with the hole. So first of all, I'm going to pull the foam off. Okay, and then we're going to take our sticker, get the backing off, and align it just like we just showed you. So now the edges line up. This hole is exposed, and this is the area we're going to cut out right here. It's marked for a 2-inch hole saw, which works great. Okay. Then you take your 2-inch hole saw, line it up with the mark, and drill a hole. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the wiring inside doesn't get caught or tangled up in the bit. So just hold that aside. Hopefully you have a sharper hole saw than I do. That one's seen some better days. Get your sticker off, and there's your hole. You want to make sure you get all the shavings out. Use a vacuum, compressed air, whatever. You don't want those things flying around in there. Okay, and the reason we make that hole is the speakers that we have are have a significantly larger magnet than the Harley ones. Handle a lot more power. Just a much better speaker. You can see the difference here. So we need the clearance for that magnet. Just a little bit. It doesn't stick outside the enclosure, but it's just enough to be in the way. So what I have here is the Hybrid Imagine i61-2s. If you're installed, depending on which speaker you're installing, there's a tab right here for the Harley speakers. The Imagines actually have a cutout, have a hole that will line up with that, so we actually don't need to cut that off on these speakers. But normally if you take a set of side cutters and a file, you want to flatten that down so the speaker sits flush. The wiring on these is kind of changes between what you're going to do here. If you're just replacing a factory speaker with a factory amplifier, factory radio, which we don't recommend, it's not going to let these speakers play at the way they should. You want to use the black to ground and the red to positive. If you want to use one of our amplifier kits from Sounds, we've already changed the wiring. For some reason, Harley has decided to make the bigger plug on the negative and the smaller on the positive. It doesn't usually fit on most speakers because the positive is almost always bigger. So if we're using one of our amplifier kits, you want to put the big on the big and the small on the small. If you're just replacing the speakers for a blown speaker or whatever, you can use the black as negative, the white as positive. So I'm not going to show you how to do the wiring now, but basically that's the way it sits. And you can see that tab, hopefully I got it on camera here, the hole lines up with the hole, and this hole will line up with the tab on these speakers. Easier said than done. I got them backwards. When in doubt, cut that tab off, but that's how it lines up. Now in the kit, there's going to be a piece of sound deadener supplied in the bag. And what we want to do is cover up that hole that we just made. It's peel and stick. Want to make sure you get good coverage. Doesn't matter if you cover over this a little bit. You want access to the hole there. So center it on the hole and just press very hard, get it to adhere properly. Push that down into the recess there, and you're done. Mount the speaker, put it back on the bike. That's it. Thank you very much.